Which city is better, Greensboro or Raleigh? If this is the question that's on your mind, then you are going to want to check out this video today. My name is Meredith Parsons. I'm a realtor. I live here. I love it here. I want you to move here and love it here as much as I do. And if you could do this, it would be so awesome. If you could like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because each week I'm going to be taking you on a little tour, a little adventure of all things Greensboro Triad area, and I wouldn't want you to miss out. You ready to go find out which is better, Raleigh or Greensboro? Let's go. Today we are going to be going over which is better, Raleigh-Durham or the Greensboro Triad area. Okay, so we're in two different areas in the whole state of North Carolina. Is a huge state, and I do have people call me all the time and say, I want to move to North Carolina, but I don't know where. And so I have to try to explain to them what's the difference between Raleigh-Durham and Greensboro. The Raleigh-Durham area is known as the Triangle. So it's Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. It's the Research Triangle, and it's located more towards the east, closer to the beach, but like it's definitely not at the beach. And then you've got Greensboro and the Triad, which is Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and then High Point. So that's right in the middle, right in the Triad. So they're both triangles and triads, so people do get them often confused, but they are two completely different cities. So the main difference that I think is that Raleigh-Durham is a much bigger city than what Greensboro is. So it's the three different cities, and it's over three different counties. It's Wake County, Durham County, and Orange County. There's about 2.2 million people that live in the whole area of the Raleigh-Durham area. And then Greensboro Triad area is predominantly in Alamance, Guilford County, Alamance, Forsyth, a little bit of Rockingham, and Randolph County. So the main difference here is Greensboro has 1.6 million, or the Triad has 1.6 million total. Let's talk about the economics of the different areas. So Raleigh-Durham is the Research Triangle. It's more technology, it's more research, and the median income there is $71,000. Greensboro is much different. Greensboro is more on shipping, logistics, and the average income here is $47,500. So that's a much different, variation in income and like the jobs typically that are here. The education is kind of similar in the sense that both areas have colleges. So Greensboro has 5 different colleges, the main one being the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, whereas the Raleigh-Durham area has North Carolina State, you have Duke, and you have University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So they're both college towns, college areas, which I love because it brings in lots of diversity. Let's talk about the cost of living. The cost of living in the Raleigh-Durham area is $96.6, and the average house price there is $425,000. So if we look on the Greensboro side, the Greensboro price index is 88.8, and the average house price here is $270,000. So I think the main difference between the two is obviously going to be housing prices are completely different. So when people call me and they're saying, I want to spend X amount of dollars, say $300,000, you're more likely to find something here than you are going to be in the Raleigh-Durham area. So that's something that can kind of guide you on how much house you can afford or that you feel comfortable paying for, then that's gonna maybe dictate which city is better for you. Let's talk transportation. So Raleigh-Durham has a bus system, and then they have their own light rail system. That is a commuter train that helps people get around to the different college campuses to commute in and out of work and get to the different hospitals that they have there. Greensboro, we only have a bus system. Now the same bus, we have a train station downtown that you can take to Raleigh-Durham and you can take down to High Point in Charlotte, but we don't have a commuter train here other than that taking you to the bigger different cities here in North Carolina. Raleigh-Durham does have an international airport. It's a much bigger airport than we have here in Greensboro. Greensboro does have an international airport, but I would say that's probably only going up to maybe Canada. It is a very small, very manageable airport, but it's not a super huge one like Raleigh-Durham is. I would say that both cities, both Raleigh-Durham and Greensboro Triad area, are both diverse. And I think that because we've got so many different colleges and universities in both cities. I think that when you have colleges, that brings in a wide variety of people. And also we've got international businesses and companies at both cities. So I think cultural wise, I think that that's very, very similar. Let's talk outdoor spaces. Greensboro has tons of outdoor space. We've got the Greenway, which is over 100 miles of green space for you to walk on. We've got Haw River State Park. We've got lots of smaller places around Greensboro, Brill Mill, Country Park. Check out my video that I did on the outdoor green spaces here in Greensboro. Raleigh-Durham has the Umstead State Park, which is 5,500 acres. And then they also have their own greenway as well there in the Raleigh-Durham area. So it's really very similar in the sense that we have outdoor spaces. Okay, let's talk sports. So this is one that I feel like is very different between both of them. Raleigh-Durham has a professional hockey team. The Hurricanes play there in Raleigh. And then they also have a professional soccer team, the North Carolina FC. So that's something completely different than what Greensboro has. Greensboro, we have two minor leagues here. We have the minor league basketball, which is the Swarm, and then we have the minor league Greensboro Grasshoppers that we have here in Greensboro. Let's talk food scene. Raleigh-Durham has a big food scene just like Greensboro does. I would say they're very similar in the fact that we all have food trucks. They're very diverse, lots of restaurants. I think one thing that Greensboro has is we have a really big growing brewery scene. So if you're into local brews, then Greensboro may be a better option, but not a reason to definitely move here over breweries. Arts and culture, Raleigh-Durham has the North Carolina Museum of Art and also the North Carolina of Natural Sciences. So that's something, they're bigger museums that they have there in Raleigh, but something that Greensboro has is we have the Stephen Tanger Center, we have different local museums and lots of little theaters and places around here that you can get culture. So it's on a smaller scale, but we do have culture in the art scene here in Greensboro. I would say when people call and I cut it down for them and make it easier to understand the difference between Raleigh and Greensboro is I think that they are very similar. I think that your money is gonna go way farther here in Greensboro because it's smaller and our average house price is less than what it is in Raleigh. It's less competitive too in terms of putting an offer in on a house. And I will say that what makes it so easy here is that we don't have the traffic. We don't have as many people crammed into one space trying to get around. I will say this forever until Greensboro blows up and I take it back. We just don't have traffic here. We just don't. And it's super great not having to sit in traffic and having to plan where I'm coming and going just based on traffic. So that's what I think makes Greensboro better. It's a smaller city with 300,000 people. It's easier to get around. It's no traffic and it's charming and small. And then Raleigh-Durham, if you're looking for a bigger city life, they have that there. It just has more traffic and it just costs more. So it's whatever you're looking for and whatever your lifestyle needs and wants are. I hope that you have learned all that you wanted to learn between the difference of Raleigh and Greensboro. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. I appreciate you and I'll see you next time. Bye.